You're watching Mutation TV. Knowledge is power.
And then we have MET. And so typically you see things called fusions. You can also see mutations, a type of mutation called exon 14 skipping, and overexpression. What happens in exon 14 skipping, genes are broken down into coding regions called exons, and they're numbered, 1 to whatever number of exons that gene has. It could be 25, it could be 30, it could be 4, it could be 7. But what happens in the MET gene is you get a mutation that causes the exon 14 to be cut out. So it's like, basically cutting it out and missing it. Now, the exon 14 codon or exon 14 in MET just coincidentally happens to encode for the duration that gene is active. So it's kind of like, when the gene gets turned on, then in exon 14, the coding that tells that the transcription machinery, okay, this gene is going to be active for 50 seconds. So when you take out exon 14, you take out that control. And so now the gene is turned on and it's active permanently. So that exon 14 contains the coding sequence that tells that gene that it's only supposed to be active for a short period of time. And now it's removed and now it's turned on all the time. And MET causes cells to grow and metastasize. So there are two different brand new drugs that are targeted MET exon 14, and they're called cabmatinib and tepotinib. They're both FDA approved now. But there's also some off-label drugs that coincidentally, they're designed for other cancers, but they also will target MET exon 14 skipping mutations. And so those are crizotinib and cabozantinib. And then, so crizotinib, if you recall, we covered that previously in a different slide. And so it's also effective in MET exon 14. And more importantly, cabozantinib was found. So typically before they had these MET targeted drugs, which are relatively new and just out now, when they had exon 14 skipping in non-small cell lung cancer, they used crizotinib, but it only worked for a short period of time. And then what we found out is that after crizotinib stops working in these patients, then you can go to cabozantinib, and it actually produces responses once patients become resistant to crizotinib. So if you've got an exon 14 skipping MET mutation and you've had crizotinib and you've stopped responding, then you could go on cabozantinib, and now you could probably also go on cabmatinib or tepotinib.
Thank you for watching Mutation TV. Subscribe below and stay informed.